Hello students, today the topic which I have taken for discussion is from your geography part, chapter number 5, and the name of the lesson is Realms of the Earth. In this session, we are going to learn about the realms, which means area or region of the Earth. Till now in our geography class, the lesson we have done previously, the discussions that we have done in the previous lesson was about Earth, latitude and longitudes, axis, equator, rotation and revolution of the Earth, how days and nights are caused, and we have also learned about the geographical tools like maps, plan, sketches, etc. Now, as we move forward, today in this session, we shall be learning more about what are the main realms or area or region of the earth, which includes water, land, air, etc. So, when we say realm, it means area or region around the earth. Like if we see our school building, which comprises of both old and new building and some part where the construction process is going on. So if we say the realm of our school, it will include all the three parts, the new building, the old building, as well as the construction buildings. Before I continue with the discussion, in this chapter we shall be learning about lithosphere, land, hydrosphere, water, and atmosphere, air as the three realms of Earth. Biosphere, the realm on which life exists. We shall learn about continents and other small land masses surrounded by sea. We will learn about the various landforms on Earth, the oceans and many seas that make the hydrosphere. We shall also learn about air around us, biosphere or the life area. And lastly, we will also learn or discuss about the need for maintaining survival of Earth, life on Earth, that is balance between realms. Before going further on the discussion about the realms of the Earth, let me give a small introduction about the planet Earth. Our planet Earth is the third nearest planet to the Sun and is spherical in shape. Earth has no light of its own, but it gets light and heat from the Sun. Our Earth, it comprises of 30% land and 70% water. Apart from this, around the Earth there is a thin layer of atmosphere of air. Our planet is the only planet which comprises of all the three elements, that is air, water and life. So this is the reason why living things or being exists on our planet Earth. Life evolved due to the extent of which our life has reached to an intelligent level of life. So in today's chapter we shall be discussing about all these things. The first point of discussion for today's session is lithosphere. In this we will discuss about the 7 continents of the world beside the part of the earth which has water or hydrosphere, in which we have 4 oceans. Then we will discuss about the air or atmosphere of the earth, and lastly we will discuss about biosphere, means land, air and water. These 3 elements are the most important elements that help in making life possible on the earth. Of all the planets in the solar system, our planet Earth is said to be the only planet which has life. Variety of plants, animals and human beings can live here or survive on Earth because the life sustaining elements of land, water, and air are present on the surface of the earth. Now, the surface of the earth is a very complex zone in which the three main components, which includes air, land, and water of the environment, meets, overlaps, and interacts. Now, if we have to define the term lithosphere, we can say that the solid portion of the earth on which we live is called the lithosphere. Now, the word lithosphere is derived from the word lithos, which means stone. Now, the solid portion of the earth, which is made up of rocks of the earth's crust and a thin layer of soil that contain nutrients, elements which sustains organism on the earth. We also know that our human body is made up of different elements like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, potassium, etc. The Earth's surface has two main divisions. That is the large land masses, which are known as the continents, and the huge water bodies, which are called as ocean basins. An important point to remember is that the level of seawater remains the same everywhere. Means the elevation or the height of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0 degree. If we look at the world map, we will notice that all the oceans are connected with one another. One very important property of water is that if you put water in any tumbler, or if you happen to see the pond, sea, lakes, you will notice that the water level of the of all this pond, sea, and lake remains the same. The water is not up or down, but they are at the same level. Similarly, the water on the earth's surface is also same and is same everywhere. The water bodies remain constant and are interrelated to one another. So that is the reason why we see that all the oceans of the world are connected with one another. There are 7 major continents of the world, and they are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. And out of the 7 major continents of the world, Asia is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the total land area, and it lies in the eastern hemisphere, and the Tropic of Cancer, which we have learned in our previous lessons, passes through it. India is located in the continent of Asia, and we know that the Tropic of Cancer passes through our country, India. Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountain on the west. It is the boundary of both the continents, Asia and Europe. And the combined land masses of the continent Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. Eurasia is a combination of the name of the continent Europe and Asia. Students, you can also refer to page number 28 and 29, wherein the continents measurement of the land area is being given in your textbook in square kilometers. You can refer to that and get an idea of all the area size of the different continents of the world. Next, the greater part of the land masses lies in the northern hemisphere. If we look at the world map, we can see that that land masses in the northern hemisphere are the greater in number. And if we take a look at the earth, we'll see that around 1/3 of the earth is the Pacific Ocean and the other half are land. If we make the round map our Earth, the globe, and if we keep it on a flat surface, we will notice that the Pacific Ocean can be seen at both the right and the left side of the map. And parts of South America, Africa, the whole of Australia and Antarctica lies in the southern hemisphere. Antarctica completely lies in the southern hemisphere and is a large continent. It is even larger than if we combine the area of Europe and Australia. And the southern pole lies mostly at the center of the continent Antarctica. It is permanently covered in thick sheet of ice, and there are no permanent human settlement in the continent of Antarctica. And the reason why is that when this new continent Antarctica was discovered, they signed a treaty with all the continents of the world, in which it was written that no human settlement will be made permanently in this newfound continent Antarctica. And this continent will be used only for research stations, for research purposes. So many countries have research station in Antarctica, and even our country India has a research station in this continent with the name Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. The continent of North America and South America are also linked together by a very narrow strip of land, which is called as the Isthmus of Panama or the Panama Canal, while the continent of Africa and Asia are linked by the Suez Canal. Students, we all know that the surface of the earth are not the same are not at the same height above sea level. Some land masses rise very high above the sea level, and they are known as mountains, whereas there are some areas which are flat and not so high above the sea level. They stand higher above the neighboring lowland, and they are called as plateaus. While we have other flat low-lying surfaces which are known as plains. First, let us discuss about the mountains. A mountain is a landmass which is substantially elevated or higher above its surrounding. The highest mountain peak in the world, which is the Mount Everest, is measured as 8,848 meters, and it is above the sea level, which means that the sea level is, as I have told you earlier, is measured as 0 level. So the measurement is 8,848 meters above the sea level. The greatest depth or the lowest point of 1,122 meters is recorded at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. The depth of the sea is much more than the highest point of the earth. The next is the plateaus. Plateaus, like I told you, is an elevated, broad, flat land area rising above the neighboring lowland. In India, the Malwa Plateaus and the Deccan Plateaus. We have the Malwa Plateaus and the Deccan Plateaus, and the Tibet is called as the roof of the world, as it is the highest plateaus. Other continents like the continents of Africa, Australia and North America, they also have vast plateaus region. Next, we have the plains, which are flat, low-lying land surface, and these are formed by silt deposits brought from the mountains by the rivers flowing through them. In India, we have the Great Northern Plains. Doba refers to the Indo-Gangetic Plain, which constitutes the most fertile region of undivided India. And the plain between the river Ganga and the Yamuna are the one of the most fertile regions of northern India, and there are also many large plains in the other countries of Asia and North America, which have been formed by the rivers and their tributaries. So students, for today we will stop the discussion here. In the next discussion, we shall be learning more about the other elements of the earth like hydrosphere and atmosphere. Thank you.